The RMS Titanic was a British passenger liner that tragically sank during its maiden voyage on April 15, 1912. It was one of the largest and most luxurious ships of its time, designed to be the epitome of ocean travel. Here's a brief history of the Titanic. 1. Construction. The construction of the Titanic began in March 1909 at the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast, Northern Ireland. The ship was designed by Thomas Andrews, and it was intended to be the flagship of the White Star Line, a prominent British shipping company. 2. Size and luxury. The Titanic was an engineering marvel of its time. It was about 882.5 feet, 269 meters, long, 92.5 feet, 28 meters wide, and 104 feet, 32 meters tall. It had 9 decks and could accommodate around 2,224 passengers and crew. The ship featured opulent amenities, including grand dining rooms, luxurious cabins, a swimming pool, a gymnasium, and even a squash court. 3. Maiden voyage. The Titanic set sail from Southampton, England, on April 10, 1912, with stops in Cherbourg, France, and Queenstown, now Cove, Ireland, before heading to New York City, USA. 4. Collision with an iceberg. On the night of April 14, 1912, while sailing through the North Atlantic, the Titanic struck an iceberg at around 11:40 p.m. ship's time. The iceberg caused extensive damage to the ship's hull, creating a series of holes below the waterline. 5. Sinking. The Titanic's hull was not designed to handle such extensive damage, and it began to fill with water rapidly. Despite efforts to save the ship, the water overwhelmed the compartments, causing it to sink. The ship broke into 2 parts before sinking completely at 2:20 a.m. on April 15, 1912. 6. Casualties and survivors. Of the approximately 2,224 people on board, only about 710 survived the disaster. The majority of those who perished were third-class passengers, due in part to the lack of adequate lifeboat capacity and the Women and Children First protocol during the evacuation. 7. Aftermath and inquiries. The sinking of the Titanic shocked the world and led to significant changes in maritime safety regulations. Several inquiries were conducted to investigate the disaster and recommend safety improvements for future vessels. 8. Discovery. The wreckage of the Titanic remained elusive for decades until it was finally located in 1985 by an expedition led by Dr. Robert Ballard. The ship's resting place was found about 12,500 feet, 3,800 meters, below the surface of the North Atlantic.